Hello and welcome to PlayStation 4 Classics. In this installment, I'm taking a look at Flinthook. This review copy was provided to me in advance by Tribute Games, and I've been itching to talk about it for a good while now. While I do enjoy many modern games, I am at heart a retro gamer, and releases like Flinthook scratch an itch that even the highest budget AAA games just don't. If you haven't heard of them, Tribute Games focuses on retro-styled games with great attention placed to sprite animation and chiptune-inspired music, and the newest release continues that tradition. Flinthook is available for $14.99 on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, but sadly not Vita, which is a total bummer since this game would fit the Vita perfectly. Regardless, I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version for review. As with Mercenary Kings before it, Flinthook appropriates the visual style of games that appeared on SNK's mighty Neo Geo MVS/AES hardware. Cutscenes showcase massive sprites with that distinctive SNK pixel art style, and the gameplay itself contains sprites with ludicrous amounts of animation frames. Enemies are lush with color and environments are bursting with pixelated detail. Suffice it to say, I'm in love with how Flinthook looks. The only thing missing here is a scanline filter to complete the illusion that I'm playing a new Neo Geo release. Likewise, the music is highly energized and peppy. While it's not quite chiptune stuff, the heavy synth and rock combination fit the gameplay perfectly. In Flinthook, you play as a mysterious masked space pirate named Captain Flinthook, who is after bounties of other space pirates. To aid his plundering, Captain Flinthook employs a titular Flinthook, a grappling hook he can throw in any direction. Unlike something like Bionic Commando, however, his mobility is not limited to just the grappling hook. He can still jump around normally, and even wall jump as the situation requires. Flinthook might look like a relatively simple, no-frills platformer, but it actually combines elements from a great number of games. There's the obvious Bionic Commando influence, but Flinthook also takes pages out of the likes of Super Metroid, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Yoshi's Island, and ties it all together with the randomness of roguelikes. Each ship that you infiltrate is procedurally generated and randomized, so even if you revisit completed stages, you'll never come across the same layout twice. This randomization adds considerably to the tension, as sometimes runs will be filled with difficult room after difficult room, with no way of knowing what's behind the next door. You have a Metroidvania-style level layout, but the Symphony of the Night influences don't end there. You'll earn EXP as you defeat enemies, which allow Flinthook to gain new ability slots and become more powerful. When the situation looks almost hopeless, fear not. Another trick up Captain Flinthook's sleeves is the ability to temporarily slow time, allowing the player to nimbly dodge enemy fire and obstacles, as well as get past red barriers and solve puzzles. The time slow power runs off of a meter, so you'll only be able to slow time briefly before having to wait for the meter to refill. This keeps the game's challenge fair since it's impossible to abuse the time slow system. Speaking of difficulty, Flinthook does a remarkable job at balancing challenge and game flow. Unlike many of the games Flinthook is influenced by, you have a health meter here, allowing you to take multiple hits before it's game over. As you play, you'll accumulate coins by destroying containers and defeating enemies. Coins can be spent at the random shops that occasionally pop up during raids. Shops sell healing items as well as various perks which can be attached to the ability slots. You can also visit the black market to buy permanent upgrades, such as increasing your maximum health. Given that enemies can appear from almost anywhere during gauntlet rooms, Tribute Games took influences from Metroid over Mega Man. Instead of being limited to only being able to fire left and right, Flinthook has the ability to fire in any direction by simply moving the analog stick in that direction and pressing fire. This leads to one of my few criticisms I have with this game. Despite being a 2D game, you're forced into using the left analog stick for movement and aiming. The D-pad does absolutely nothing. Perhaps the thought here was that the left analog stick provides greater precision while aiming your shots, but since there's a helpful auto-aim assist built in, I just can't accept that excuse. Plus, I know I'm not alone in that I always prefer to play platformers with D-pads over analog sticks. Hopefully, Tribute will patch D-pad support in the future, but as it stands, I am forced to use a non-standard controller where I can map the left analog stick functionality to the D-pad. Otherwise, the controls are simple to learn and quick. X jumps, square fires, L2 slows time, and R2 throws the Flinthook. You can also sometimes find sub-weapons, which can be obtained with circle and used with triangle. Raids in Flinthook require obtaining 3 special items in 3 missions before the boss reveals itself. Take care not to take excessive damage during your raids, as your damage will not heal between missions, and chests gained from gauntlet rooms only restore a small amount of health. Once you do reach a boss, try to take time to study the pattern before going all out. You'll only have a single shot. Die and you'll be back to square one with having to obtain all of the special items again. Although death does reset the key items obtained and you lose any money you had, fortunately, your experience and perks remain, encouraging retries and replayability. Flinthook is kinda like Spelunky, but more fair. Over the past dozen or so hours I've put into Flinthook, the game has kicked my ass repeatedly, but I've always come back for more and will continue to. If you like what you've been hearing, I fully recommend buying this game. So, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time.